Now, the Deepstar 4000 was a submersible. It was tasked with the job of putting hydrological instruments at the bottom of the ocean in order to just take some basic measurements. But what the team of two saw down there is still baffling us to this day. Yo guys, I'm the Rat Man, and today we're going to be talking about the fish that was seen by the Deepstar 4000 submersible. Now, this creature has only been sighted once. It was sighted in 1966 by the pilot of the Deepstar 4000, Joe Thompson, and a marine biologist, Jean LaFond. Is it too mean to make a joke about a biologist's name being Jean, like with a G? That's freaking perfect, dude. He was destined from birth or something. Now, the Deepstar 4000 submersible was researching in the San Diego Trough. They had gone about 4,000 feet deep, or 1,200 meters, which is as deep as the lava zone in Subnautica, and it is actually the aphotic zone, which means that basically no sunlight gets down there. It's so little that our eyes can't really see a difference, and any life down there cannot use photosynthesis. Now, as I was saying, they were laying hydrological instruments at the bottom of this trough. They were laying them with specific intervals of space to make different measurements on the seabed. Thompson looked up through the window at one point, just as the eye of a massive fish came into view. It moved quickly, kicking up silt and dust as it went, before it disappeared into the abyss. Now, the whole sighting only lasted about 8 seconds. They did some rough measurements on the size of this fish based off of their own submarine and the instruments that they had placed on the seabed. Now, their submarine was 18 feet long, and the fish dwarfed this. Judging between the instruments, which they had specifically measured out a certain distance, they estimated from the quick sight they got of it that it could have been up to 40 feet long. It resembled a sea bass somewhat. It had gill plates, huge pectoral fins, and a strange rounded tail that was about 5 feet tall and serrated. Now, the tail reminded Thompson of depictions of the coelacanth. If you have not played Ark Survival Evolved, then this is a coelacanth. It's actually a living fossil, which I didn't know until making this video. I thought it had been extinct. I think coelacanths are pretty cool. Now, Thompson and LaFond kept quiet for about a half of a year, until they saw a photo of a giant Pacific sleeper shark. And this photo was labeled Marine Monster. With seeing other fish reporters going out and talking about strange marine creatures of abnormal sizes, it gave them the guts to come out about their story. Now, they told their story to 2 fish journalists and a cryptozoologist / marine writer. What is this fish? Where did it come from? Does it have any merit of existing? We've got some theories on it. One of the top theories is that it is actually a Pacific sleeper shark. Now, these things can get pretty big. The photographer that took the picture of the one labeled Marine Monster claimed to have found another one later that was up to 30 feet long, which could easily have been as big as this Deepstar 4000 fish we're talking about. So it became theorized that maybe the Deepstar 4000 fish is just a giant Pacific sleeper shark. However, it doesn't really fit the description that Thompson gave of the 4000 fish. So maybe, but doesn't really seem very accurate. Now, the other top theory is that of the largest known bony fish, the Yakozuna slickhead. Now, the Yakozuna slickhead only gets up to about 9 feet long, which is almost 3 meters, but it's very similar to the visual description that we were given of the Deepstar 4000 fish. It's got the same type of eyes, it's got the pectoral fins and the gill plates, and it has a rounded tail that could come across as being slightly serrated. Now, this would be the most massive case of a slickhead that we've ever seen, but it's kind of possible. You know, things get big in the ocean. The ocean's a little bit of a whack place. It's also possible that it is related to the slickhead, but not an actual slickhead. They could have some fundamental differences. Maybe it's a very, very rare type of fish. Either way, we may never know, because this fish has never been sighted again. I am in love with giant creatures, giant sea creatures and everything, right? They are so cool. The ocean is one of my favorite places. You know, just the deep abyss of just nothingness, and at any moment something massive could appear, just gets my brain going. Like, that is so intriguing to me. I would love to go down in a submarine and just sit like in the abyssal zone and just stare for ages. That would be like so cool, dude. So anyways, that was the story of the Deepstar 4000 fish. What did you think? It's an interesting one. I thought it was worth note because it's actually a pretty famous cryptid. This one I feel like has a lot of merit behind it. It very well could exist. It's not that far-fetched, right? We find giant things all the time. Colossal squids were a cryptid for ages. We didn't believe that there were giant squids. Things like this happen all the time, right? This is a very, very meritful cryptid. Like, it could very easily exist. If you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe if you like content about cryptids or other strange stories, that would be awesome. We're trying to hit 500 by the end of 2025. I am on a heavy grind right now. Been posting 3 videos a week. And so far we're not getting very far. But with your help, we might just get there. If we get 500 by the end of 2025, I will go on a cryptid hunt. I'll try to find a cryptid. Also hit that like button, it helps push me out in the algorithm and lets me know what type of content you guys like to watch from me. Leave a comment down below if you got any recommendations or nitpicks or critiques or compliments. Anything is nice. I like to hear from you guys. I've also got a Discord server if you'd like to talk on a more like conversational level. Link will be in the description. And I think that's everything. So thank you so much for watching. God bless. I'm just gonna say Ratman out.